Here we go. Thanks for joining me today, Sharon. Is your audio coming in okay? Can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect, perfect.
How are you, Clyde?
I'm doing good. And again, thanks so much for joining me. I understand you're busy, but you're locked down at the moment now, are you?
Well, we're not actually very busy right now.
Okay.
Sadly, unfortunately. We've been put a bit of a halt over here, but
Oh,
yeah.
so I want to introduce this real quick because I got a hold of your Instagram, and on your Instagram, let's just get the web browser up. You've been taking footage of the police blockades and all of the things that have been happening in the shoe swap. Is it shoe swap or shoe swap area?
Yeah, we call it shoe swap, but shoe swap, yeah.
The shoe swap area.
Yeah.
Now, as
We say swapping shoes.
swapping shoes. So the thing that really got me the most with this whole thing was this is another truly Canadian thing as it plays out, because a year and a half ago, the Freedom Convoy took off and went to Ottawa over the COVID pandemic mandates. People were upset with that. And the news wanted to just like lie about it and just say that it wasn't a thing. Meanwhile, people were on the ground were turning their Instagrams and their YouTube channels into reporting agencies. Like they were the sources of all the information that we were getting. And now we're running into these issues with forest fires, and we're being fed this narrative from the government and from these news agencies, and that's not actually what's happening on the ground. And you're a perfect example of what was going on with this. You're BeTEAsed your Instagram. So BTs, tell me, what is that? That's your food truck?
So yeah, to make a long story short, it started out with a tea company, did tea infused food, and then now, so that was the slogan to the tea company, Shuswap Infusions Tea, and then now, BeTEAsed is now the name of the brand of our food truck. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And we are.
Do you do online products, by the way? Can we give a link to get you some more sales from our community here?
Shuswap Infusions Tea, is my small tea company. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. There's gotta be a link here somewhere. Da 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 da. If you, tea.
Yeah, www.shuswap
I'll make sure.
Infusions.com.
Okay, I'll make sure it's in the description down below so people can get over there and buy some stuff. It's amazing though, because I really appreciate that you're bringing these stories to people. You have your following there that are people that are tuning in because they want to know about your products and your business. But then all of a sudden now you're thrust in the middle of an event that's happening in Canadian history, and what's going on? Like, this is what we want to know. We're all Canadians and we have no clue. We see the smoke and we're told climate change, you need to pay more carbon taxes, and that'll change everything. Just use my campaign bumper sticker, and nobody cares about the aftermath and what's actually going on. So what's actually happening on the ground? Can you give us a rundown of what happened?
It's been a wild ride for sure. So, kudos to all the locals who stuck around. We figure there's probably about 300-ish that stayed to save our community and our homes. And then we had the structural fire team, Fire and Flood, came in, and they did an amazing job as well. If it wasn't for those guys, 100% my house would have been gone, for sure. And and then it's been a lot of unfortunate political stuff got involved, and with that potential peace freedom crew that came into Sorrento 2 days ago, that put a halt to us. They pulled out every firefighter, and pretty much just I'm not sure. I mean, maybe tried to make a point. I don't know. Obviously they said it was a threat safety issue for them, and that's why they did it. I think we all probably have other speculations on what was really happening there, but it's tough. I mean, it's hard for me. We just really, the bottom line is right now, we just need to get those fires out, and, the weather's changing again. They definitely have, they have fire crews. BC Wildfire came back in today. I believe they came back in today. I'm still on lockdown. I'm literally not allowed to leave my yard still. we sat out on the road today with a thank you poster, and sat drinking a beer in the driveway and saying thank you to everybody. And it was, yeah, it's heartbreaking. I mean, people are still coming here to eat, but not like we did 200 bag lunches a few days ago, and now we may be doing 20
Oh,
tops.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
So how did this all start in the first place? I'm hearing different reports from different people saying, this is arson and people were intentional. All the way from that to this is the official narrative is climate change caused this. Don't look anywhere. Look over here. This is the reason.
Yeah.
Is there any idea what went on?
Well, I mean, the word is I can't say for sure, but the word is that the back burn did not go well. That Thursday night, we sat here. Actually, the mountain range that I'm looking at right now was where they back burned, and we watched it from my place Thursday night. And honestly, I actually trusted that they would get us all out in time. And then, we sat here having dinner, and we were watching this fire burn. And we thought, okay, I guess, they're telling us that it's controlled, and they announced that it all went well. And then the next morning I wake up and I thought, it's kind of hard to tell, like daylight's a bit different than nighttime. So I was like, I looked outside and I thought, maybe it's kind of the same. Like, it didn't really seem like it was much more dangerous than it was the night before. And so I decided to open the food truck and just cook for people for free. I was like, obviously I just felt like, I had the food here. I was here anyways. Let's just get these firefighters, some food and feed them. Well, that lasted about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. And they waited so long to give that order, which was really sad, because I watched the mountain, like it just had come down. We were watching it from here, and I was like, holy crap. Like, it was, I mean, I've never experienced a forest fire before, and you don't realize how intense it is until you're in it. I mean, I hope people don't have to go through something like this, but it was terrifying. They should have definitely got the order out way sooner than it was. I left with my daughter and her boyfriend, and I did leave for the first night, and then I came back the following day. But when we left, we were crossing over the bridge. We have one wooden bridge to get through. Well, we technically have two on the North Shuswap here, but we have a pretty significant one-way bridge that if that burns up, we are not getting out. So we were crossing that bridge, and there was flames like almost touching the bridge when we went over, and it was so scary. And so we fled, and it was so dangerous that I actually thought we better just go to Calgary. Like, I don't even trust being in the woods. Like, that's how terrifying it was. We ended up going to Sicamous in the morning, like all night, of course. Everybody was going nuts on social media and the news, and ended up blowing it, honestly, way out of proportion. Not way out of proportion. It was very scary, a very horrific thing that happened. But like, Scotch Creek turned out to be in a way better spot the news was putting it out to be. It was like, Scotch Creek burnt down, there's nothing left. And so that's what got me started on wanting to video. So it started out just, I came back the next morning and started feeding people, and Liz, the girl in my videos that you've seen probably the last couple videos, but her and I had never actually, we met one time before, maybe twice. They came here for, her and her husband would come for dinner, but never really connected. And so she ended up being my sidekick. She came here too to find something to do, and then she realized that I needed help. So yeah, she came and helped me. All the guys were out on foot. Our local, our locals were out on foot helping, I guess, illegally,
Right.
according to everybody. Yeah. And so we were feeding them while they were out fighting, and and it was just horrible. It turned out to just be, that they just made us feel like we were criminals for, bringing food and supplies and your basic necessities. And it was not a fun feeling, for sure.
So there's a state of emergency in British Columbia, and that was declared by David Eby. And so how does this work? There's all these RCMP come flooding into your town, and they say nobody gets to move, nobody gets to travel in and out of the place. and we're just gonna block things up, as if that's gonna solve the issue somehow. What's going on there?
It was unbelievable. I have never seen so many police cars, unmarked police cars in my life out here. Like this is, I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know, maybe there would be 30 to 40 cars out here. And, our population, well, obviously our tourists all left, right? So our population is about 3,000 people from, it's quite a large span, our whole North Shuswap. I can't remember how many kilometers it is offhand, but it's quite a large span of land. And so, it was definitely an intimidation thing for sure. There's no reason to have this many. We're spending all these resources on cops that they say are, people are looting. Honestly, I think that most people, if you were to ask, would rather have, something in their house stolen than to have their whole house burned. So
Yeah.
it's just outrageous what has happened here, and I think there'll be some backlash for sure when we're all done this. But
So I saw reports that, and this was on Twitter or Instagram. Somebody put it out there. It was a video of a guy. There was a few guys with their trucks, and they had tanks in the back, and they were trying to open a fire hydrant, and the hydrant was off. What do you know? Any information about why, or that verify that like water actually was shut off?
so that potentially could be not true for the sake that, and I love the Raven boys. Don't get me wrong; those boys that posted that video, they're my family. But
I
they,
guess everybody knows
so
everybody in a 3,000
yeah,
person community,
they're
right?
they're rock stars. Yeah, definitely shop with them. Yeah, Raven is their tag. But so they, I was just told from a local firefighter just before this interview. I guess those hydrants are, I think they're gravity fed, and so they get emptied very fast. So I guess I don't think they can handle, and that's we're not hooked up to city water. If we had city water, it would be a whole new game. But we don't have city water here, so there was maybe some, obviously the locals were already, upset about some things that were going on, and maybe some people are, including myself, uneducated about, the things like the fire hydrants. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but that is what I was told today. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll go and get the facts straight on that.
Yeah, well, and that's the whole
Yeah.
point of talking to people in the area, because there's a lot of speculation on what's been going on, and this a lot of people are likening this to what happened in Maui. In Maui, if you hadn't heard, in the giant part of their community had burned down, and a lot of people are asking, is this like did they let it happen kind of scenario? Because there's enough people with a vested interest in buying their property from them. So when the electric company, they find out that they didn't turn off the power lines when the power lines went down, and then when they didn't divert water to the town when they should have, and they had every capability of doing so, it puts a lot of people in this suspicious sort of camp of, what's going on? Why are the authorities coming in and thwarting our efforts to actually take care of the thing? And a lot of your videos kind of point in that direction without you giving a narrative to it at all. Like you're just filming people saying to the police, let us go put out fires over here. We can put out 30 little brush fires. It's not big dangerous stuff. We're not pretending to be professionals or firefighters or anything like that.
Yeah.
What was the feel on the ground as the police were telling people that they can't even protect their own homes?
Yeah, and I mean, after the whole COVID thing and, the trucker convoy, I think a lot of people woke up after that, and, we were not leaving. There was no, and I said it to, I actually didn't get that one on video, but conservation got us on the water after one of my videos. Coming back from that, we tried to get that Cisco supply truck over here, and then the cops put a stop to it. And so, yeah, that was, it was just the police force, and the lockdown is unbelievable. This is actually worse than COVID, because we can't even get basic necessities here. So, I literally am, like the food smuggler, and, smuggling in steel toe boots and whatever, whenever people text me, they're, Sharon, we need gasoline, or we need more water, like bottled water or food of any kind, Yeah, I got so many text messages, and I would have to, I have like literally a contact list of boat smugglers and car smugglers, and it's gone way too far.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous at the point when, just basic necessities and providing for your community becomes illegal. And
yeah.
and the police and the infrastructure that's set up to protect us is all aimed at us, and we can't do anything. And that's what a lot of people are really upset about, and where the parallels from the whole COVID feeling for a lot of people in people outside of British Columbia. I'm in British Columbia. I'm in Squamish on the coast, so we have a lot in common, and I could see a lot of it when looking at your Instagram. But we didn't get hit as bad with a lot of the COVID mandates, especially in small towns. We were just kind of like, all right, people aren't allowed to do this or that. Most people still went out in the bush and had their, bonfires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just the way.
Yeah, we were gathering in people's houses and having little house parties, right? It's like just stick with your own crew and
just don't tell nobody about it,
right? Yeah, totally. Nobody needs to know.
Yeah. So that was the feel in British Columbia, but for a lot of other Canadians, especially in like Quebec, Ontario, a lot of these places, they got hit really hard with the lockdowns. And now it seems like they're using this excuse to kind of put that same pressure on us here. So you've lived in the shoe shop, I'm guessing, for a long time.
Yeah, my whole life. Yeah.
Okay, and you've experienced nearby forest fires. There's been forest fires in like Kelowna and stuff like that. Have you ever experienced anything like this where the police are so heavily sent out, yet not a lot of firefighters? I'm guessing that's the case.
No, yeah. It was honest. Like all my friends were out in the woods, and they were literally they said they were alone. It was just them. There was nobody to be found. Besides, mind you, I'd have to give credit to our local fire department. We have what do we have? Scotch Creek, Solista, and Anglemont fire departments. Who we just don't have the resources though. They don't have the equipment. And they're structural firefighters. They're not meant to fight forest fires. So even them, they were, kind of left in a. Actually, the one firefighter I talked to today, he said that they ended up losing all contact because their signals went down. So even each fire department couldn't even communicate with each other. So it was super scary for everybody, and they just had to including the structural firefighters, the private companies that got contracted out. Everybody ended up at one point just like leaving because it was that bad. There was nothing more that they could do, so they set up the structural stuff. And there was obviously a few, well, not a few, but there were still quite a few locals that stayed on foot. But it was the scariest situation. I mean, I hope that hopefully we don't encounter anything larger than this.
Well, that's absolutely it. So what does it look like now? The fires, because you're still under lockdown. Forest fires don't really last that long. Once the fuel's burned up, that's about it, is it not? Like, why are you guys still in lockdown?
Well, so I'm confused too. I thought, we got power yesterday to our small little town. Further up the lake still doesn't have it, and further down as well doesn't have it. But I thought, well, why can't we just cruise around Scotch Creek and help deliver food and put out fires? Like, I don't know why, if we have power here, you would think that would be, we're deemed safe, I would think. So I don't know what, I was like, are we waiting for them to tell us we're allowed to leave the property? We're all confused over here with what's really happening. So yeah, I mean, Solista further up the lake, I can see there's probably maybe potentially still a safety hazard. There's so many people on the road though, so I can't even see that being true. I mean, we sat on the road today, and there's car after car, Hydro and Shaw, and the firefighters that are. I just heard maybe some Mexican firefighters are coming tomorrow. I don't. That's what I'd heard though. Could maybe not be true. I just saw that just right before I got on this with you, but. So, well, I mean, there is so many cars. I'm like, wow, I've never seen Scotch Creek busier. You think that it would be our 30,000 tourists out here right now.
Right.
But yet it's not we're deemed to not be safe to drive on the road.
It's not safe because that's
well,
just...
I mean, they're saying it's looting, right? But we all know everyone that's here right now are, loyal, locals. Besides, there is one tiny small crew, but we know where they live, and everyone's got eyes on them. So yeah, we know who the good people are here.
I just don't see the benefit outweighing the detriment to these policies. If they're just shutting the roads down, not letting locals travel anywhere, it almost, I mean, the more conspiratorial person might say, like, they're doing this on purpose. They're trying to get us used to this whole concept of that. But like, it just doesn't make any sense. It seems like a real dereliction of duty. It seems like they're fumbling over themselves, and I think it's the old famous quote: the scariest thing to ever hear is "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Right? It's like, leave me alone. Totally. No thanks.
Yeah, don't come near me.
Yeah. And it seems to be a big case like that. So yeah, hopefully you can keep us informed. I'll keep in touch with you, and we can keep things going. And for everybody who wants to go check it out, go check it out at BeTEAsed on Instagram here. You can check this out. I noticed your hat. You wear hats like I do, and I was wondering if you wanted another one.
I always want hats.
I can send you one of these if you're keen on that. I have we just made some for the channel, and they look like the same as what you normally wear. So
I love it. We'll trade.
Yeah, I'll have to. Oh, you have hats for your business?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
was my hat. Actually, it was black on black, but it does say BeTEAsed. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's do a trade. I'll send you my address. You send me yours, and we'll make that happen for sure.
You won't be able to get it until I'm allowed to escape from here, but.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, keep us posted on when that will happen, because this is now the time where it's going to get most interesting for a lot of people, because people are worried about the overreach. This is why a lot of people watch the channel that I produce videos on. You're not familiar with my channel, and I understand that totally. But
no, and I'm going to start watching it now.
Oh, cool, cool. So a lot of people watch the channel because I focus on government and their overreach that they've been doing since COVID and even before that, and we're just kind of getting used to it more and more. And a lot of people are going to be interested in the coming days and weeks on what happens to you guys in the Shuswap. Because, well, are they going to hang on to these lockdowns for you guys, or are they going to let it go as soon as possible? And that's really where a lot of people's interests are.
Well, yeah, I mean, even COVID, we, out here it wasn't this strict. So, this is intense. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like the last day it's been a little more lenient. It sounds like there's more people that are coming over here. Yeah, like this is what my yard looks like right now. We do have some people over here for dinner. Don't mind my restaurant is in shambles because we had just. But there are some people.
Oh, that's awesome! I love it. Oh, that's amazing.
But yeah. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're waiting to see too. Honestly, we're trying to just keep it cool. We need to fight this fire, and that's most important. And then we'll go from there. So we'll be definitely posting some more stuff after this is done.
Well, sounds great. I'll keep in touch with you, and we'll get more information for everybody that's just looking to see what's happening. And I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much to take the time out of your day to inform other Canadians on what's going on in Canada here.
Well, I think it's so important too. You're obviously sharing the real news, and even my mom is, love her to bits. She falls into the, she's easily gullible, and I always said, Mom, that I'm in this. I am literally, now that what the news is portraying is not actually the full truth, right? So this is where it's so important for people to get the real facts, before I let you go. You reminded me of something, and I'd be remiss to not ask you, what was the story about this convoy freedom people, or what was that whole thing about? So whether, someone speculated that maybe it was from them watching my, people like myself that were sharing the real. Can you see me okay? I feel like I'm glitching.
No, I can see you perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just people like myself sharing, the real truth about what's happening has now, like the trucker convoy movement, people are, they're wanting to help, do something for us, because what they're doing to me and to us who are on lockdown is obviously wrong. I think any human being knows that, kind human being anyways. So yeah, I think it maybe it did want them to, want to reach out and start something like this. I personally had nothing to do with it, but yeah, I mean, I can only imagine. I remember I followed the trucker thing and was cheering them on, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here that more people need to wake up. But
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a group of people that confronted the police. Is that something that happened, or?
it was literally, I watched the clip. It was like 20 people, and they had about double the amount of cops. And they had, spike belts out, and they made it way bigger than it ever needed to be. I definitely, they're just protecting us and trying to help us, get our basic freedom back. And, do I blame them? No. I mean, was it bad timing? For sure. It was definitely bad timing for us. It really just ended up hurting us in the end, because they pulled out all of our firefighters that morning. Yeah,
that sounds like such a threat, though. That sounds like such an arbitrary thing to do. You have people that want to support you, so we're gonna pull your firefighters after we told you you're not allowed to fight the fires. Like, that's like, what, we're gonna burn your houses down? Like, what are they saying in that?
Yeah,
by doing that?
And I'm not. Yeah, as a local, that's totally how we felt. We felt again abandoned twice now. How I was shocked. I actually didn't believe it until I got a call from a really good source that evening, and he said, Sharon, they pulled us out. They literally pulled us out. And I'm like, what do you? No way. I was like, this rumor is actually true. I just couldn't believe it. I said, why the heck would they do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then they're, on TV and everything, they're saying it was they were scared for their safety. Well, yeah, I mean, anyways.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
Yeah,
it sounds like revenge is what it sounded like, and that's.
Yeah.
And that's just.
It definitely, it makes you feel like it's revenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, holy cow. I hope there's no more hiccups in this whole thing. For anybody out there that wants to give support, let's find different ways to give support. How about we go over to BeTEAsed website and we buy a whole bunch of tea, buy a whole bunch of product. I think that would be a great way to support. Don't be upset if there's a delay, because there's currently on lockdown. So if there's a delay on the products,
the shipping delay might be. Yeah.
but definitely give that support. Can you say again what the website is, so we can put it in?
It's that one's Shuswapinfusions.com.
Shuswapinfusions.com. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'll give the link for the Instagram so people can follow you there. But I love seeing people come in good ways to support people in the community, and by giving you more business, I think that would be a great way to support you guys there.
Thanks, Clyde.
All right. Well, and I look forward to keeping
we'll
in
trade
touch.
hats.
It will trade hats. I've got your number, so I'll send you my address. You
All right.
send me yours, and we'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks again for joining me this
Yeah.
evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, that's amazing. Holy cow. I'm so excited that I was able to get a hold of Sharon tonight so we can have that conversation. That was just so good. So good. When you can get in touch with people right down on the ground, and you can get the actual story of what's happening there, this is telling the news. This is how people can portray what's actually happening, instead of the propaganda that we normally get. And again, this was a big case of that, as they were spreading fear, misinformation, all kinds of things. Here's the article from the this is the Toronto Star, saying BC fire crews temporarily pulled out as protest tried to overwhelm the RCMP blockade. Well, what are the RCMP blockading people for? And spike strips? We're hearing about that now? What is this? This is just unbelievable. So there's 20 people showed up to say, you know what? You guys got to give people their rights back. You got to stop blockading them in their homes. What kind of response do we get? We get the media jumping in lockstep with authorities to demonize these people and say awful things, and then pull the support when they're locked in and they're not allowed to fight the fires themselves, and then pull the firefighters. from the hillsides where they live, this is just outrageous. If this doesn't get people riled up, I don't know what will. And I'm not trying to rile people up. I'm just trying to show people what's really happening here. And it's just, holy cow, it gets too much for me.
If you enjoyed this clip of the live stream, you can tune in as well every Friday night at 9:30 Eastern time. That's 6:30 Pacific. We have always good guests and lots of things going on in the live streams. So be sure to hit that notification bell. It will give you a reminder when this channel goes live. We'll see you then. Keep on trucking.